Hi everyone, this is Ella and welcome to Succulent House. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And in this channel, I share my succulent, cacti, and houseplant obsession, and of course my journey with loving all of these plants. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and for watching our videos. I really appreciate all of the comments and the love that you've been showing me for the past year already. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification so that you will be notified every time we upload a new video. So in my last video, we unboxed a new set of succulents from Benguet. And for the last 5 years of me taking care of succulents, I always get a question, Ella, what should I do as soon as I get the videos from where I order it online? So today, I'm going to answer that question. Ano nga bang gagawin mo after mong ma-receive yung box of succulents na in-order mo online? So, for all of my international friends, please pardon me, I will speak in Tagalog every now and then to accommodate naman the questions that I receive with my fellow Filipino succulent enthusiasts. So, first off, as soon as you receive the box, normally, most of the suppliers here in the Philippines, they wrap the succulents in tissue paper. So, like what we've done with our past video, carefully unwrap the succulents from the tissue paper and set them aside. Now, the first thing that you should do is that check the roots and inspect your plants. Check the roots if it has root rot. Now, what is root rot? Root rot is usually yung roots is wet and it's mushy or parang matutunaw na. That's a sign of root rot. In this case, this is a pretty healthy sempervivum. The seller has properly air dried the succulent, and this one is healthy. Now, if you notice that there's a root rot, take a picture of the plant, especially the roots, and send the picture back to the seller. That way, the seller will know that she or he probably did not air dried it, and kaya nag-result sa root rot, or the plant itself already has issues when they sent it over. The next thing is that continue to inspect your plant for any pests, mealybugs, or scales. Now, for example, this beautiful echeveria that I have has a tiny bit of scale right there. Now, if you're from the Philippines, that's one of the most common issues that we get with the succulents or cacti, scales. So, take a picture of the infected succulent and send it back to the seller, the photo, so that they will be informed na merong scales yung succulents nila. What I normally do is that if you receive a succulent that has a pest, mealybugs, or anything, make sure that you set them aside, quarantine or isolate them. What do I mean by quarantine and isolate them? Do not put this near any of your existing succulent collection or cacti collection. Why? There's a big possibility na mai-infect din yung other plants that you already have. So, what I normally do is I make sure to segregate, or I put them aside, and I don't put them near my collection perhaps for 2 weeks, just to make sure that the succulent is okay. Now, continue to inspect the plant if there are any other issues. If wala naman, then go to number 3. Number 3 is set aside your succulent in a shaded but bright area. So, do not expose your succulents in any kind of direct sunlight. Not even morning sunlight, not even any form of sunlight. Why? Because your succulent has been wrapped for 2 days and the system of the plant will be shocked if you put this in a direct sunlight. And much better if the most common mistake that a lot of succulent lovers do, especially if they're newbies, is that tinatanim nila agad yung plant, or they plant this right away. That's a big no-no. Why? Because it will automatically stress your plant. Unlike house plants, your succulents are very hardy. So instead of planting them sa soil, they don't need soil right away. Instead, what they need is airflow and airflow and bright light. So what do I mean by bright light? This is actually a bright light, or a low but bright light. I don't know if I make sense. Pero this is the kind of light that these succulents need as of the first 12 to 24 hours. They don't need bright sunlight kasi their system will be shocked. Magugulat yung plants in a direct light, and that will result to sunburn or even killing the plant. So what I normally do is I set them aside in a bright shaded area for 12 to 24 hours before I repot them. So after the 12 to 24 hours, make sure that you pot them in a dry soil. So make sure that your soil is not moist, kasi what will happen is that the succulent will automatically absorb all of the water that it can get. So make sure that you have a dry soil, and then bago mo siya itanim. After the 24 hours and natanim mo na siya, make sure that you don't move your succulents into bright light just yet. Just let your succulents stay in this shaded area, or in the shaded bright area, for perhaps 3 to 5 more days. Now, after 3 to 5 more days, gradually, and I mean gradually, dahan-dahan mo lang siya i-introduce to sunlight. So what do you mean by gradually? Let's say, for example, if I put this in this area for 5 days, I would probably on the 6th day put them under direct sunlight for 2 hours. Then after 2 hours, I will bring them back where I initially placed them. That way that they will get sunlight, but not as much sunlight, like full sun or 8 hours kind of sun. And then the next day, I will probably expose them to sunlight for 3 hours, and then gradually increase the number of hours in the next following days. The next question that comes to mind is that, Ella, do I need to water the plants right away? The answer is no. Please do not water your succulents, especially if it arrived bare roots. Please allow 5 to 10 days for your succulent to adjust in the new soil and new environment bago nyo siya i-water. So, that way, hindi masya-shock yung succulent. And remember, they are very hardy, unlike house plants that you need to water them right away. But these guys can survive even for 10 days of no water. So, I normally water them after 5 days, 5 to 7 or 10 days, depending on the kind of succulent that I get. And then when you water them, of course, gradual na din yung introduction ninyo sa sunlight. So I think that is it. I will recap. Number 1, inspect or arrange the roots as soon as they arrive na hindi na napipi. Number 2, inspect and isolate your plants, especially if there are pests. Number 3 is that set them aside in a shaded and bright area. Number 4, do not plant them within 12 to 24 hours. Set them aside and then plant them after 24 hours. The next is that do not expose them to direct sunlight after immediately after you receive them, but gradually introduce them to sunlight and then water on your 5th or 10th day. So that is it. If you have any other tips for me and that you would like to share in my community, feel free to comment down below, and I'd love to hear from you and also learn from you. If you have any questions, connect with me on Instagram and I'll be patiently answering all of your messages. So I hope that you guys learned something new from me today, and I hope that from now on, every time you order succulents online, you will know how to take care of them better and minimize getting some of your succulents get killed. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.